I like Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm definitely more of a casual fan nowadays, but when I was younger, I was definitely obsessed with it. I loved the ongoing lore, the plushies, the fan-made costumes, just a lot about the series. Nowadays, I tend to stick to the fan-made stuff like the VHS Analog Horror series and reviews, but I still have a love for the games that brought about this fandom. With one of my favorite YouTubers, Postra, doing a year of Fnaf on his channel, I decided to make a video on the occasion. And what better place to make a Fnaf video than the movies? Okay, in all seriousness, I also have just been thinking about doing another double review after the Tron video, and my interest in Fnaf has been growing again, so what better time than now to watch these things? I've only watched the first movie nearly 3 years ago, so let's see how I feel about that one now, and look at its sequel. Oh fuck. Thank you, and remember to smile. You're the face of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Movie 1. After many failed attempts at maintaining a job to help support him and his sister Abby, Mike Schmidt takes a security job at the abandoned Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. While working as the night guard, Mike has lucid dreams about his kidnapped brother and desperately tries to find out who took him. Meanwhile, the animatronics start to act suspiciously, implying something darker lurks at Freddy's. So, nearly 3 years after seeing this movie, how well does it hold up?
It's alright.
Yeah, it's a fine movie. Not exactly what I would call amazing, but definitely a decent watch. The main things I can give praise to are the animatronics. They look amazing. And the fact that they're mostly practical is nothing short of an achievement. The way they move, the expressions, the sound design with them, it's all around just great. Foxy in particular is the standout, probably because he's the most popular one from the first game, but all the scenes with him are well done. Plus, the humming he does, while different from the games, is pretty haunting. Matthew Lillard is also a standout for his portrayal of Steve Raglan / William Afton. Even if he only has a few scenes, he's probably my favorite part of the movie. His Yellow Rabbit suit's pretty great too, and it's a nice middle ground between the Spring Bonnie suit and the eventual Springtrap design. The scene where he appears in the suit is a great reveal, plus his modulated voice sounds really good.
This is perfect. First I killed your brother. Now I kill you. Symmetry, my friend.
I also thought Mike was a pretty decent main character, and his story arc of letting go of his past and focusing on his sister was well written. Josh Hutcherson does really well during emotional, intense moments, like the final dream sequence and when he goes to save Abby from Chica. Oh yeah, and Abby was okay too, not much for me to say about her. I do like that her drawings were the key to defeating William though, I thought that was cool. If I had to list some minor gripes I have, I feel like some of the references were a bit on the nose. I do like the camera shots of the animatronics that reference the first game, MatPat and Corey X Kenshin's cameos, and the Living Tombstone song in the end credits. But other than that, the references didn't really land for me. Mainly the times they showed 6 AM on a clock or watch, it felt way too on the nose. Some scenes feel like they drag a bit too long as well, mainly the stuff with Mike's aunt. And while I do like the reveal of William being in the movie, I wish the marketing didn't show him at all and left it as a surprise in the movie. It's like when Spider-Man was shown in Civil War trailers. It's cool in the moment, but it would have been more cool if it was kept a secret for those who went in blind. Lastly, I feel like this movie should have been more bloody with its kills. There's one kill besides the Springlock sequence that stands out, but every other kill doesn't sit with me because of the lack of visible blood. The Springlock failure scene is actually the best example of this. While it's cool that they actually did do this scene, the problem was how no blood was shown. In the game, even though we only see it in a minigame sequence, you can see the pool of blood as William is spring-locked. Also, I feel like the animatronics shouldn't have been the ones to cause the spring-lock failure. It should have been William getting careless and causing his own demise. No, the cupcake did it. Okay, sure, whatever. Overall, not bad, but definitely some room for improvement. 6 out of 10. Excuse me. Movie 2. 2 years after the first movie, Abby is called upon by the animatronics to an older Freddy's location to free them. However, she has been tricked by a different set of animatronics being controlled by one of the original missing kids. Well, that was something. I don't think it was good, but I wouldn't say it was bad, I guess. Alright, let's get the positives out of the way. The animatronics and marionette puppet work are just as good as the first film. The toy animatronics looked really good, Mangle being the standout for me. The Wizards, though only having little screen time, looked great, and the puppet work for the marionette was handled very well. Basically, any scene with them was the highlight of the film. The opening scene with Charlie Emily during 1982 was pretty good, seeing William in his early days and the death of Charlie. It was probably the best written part of the film. That's a problem when the opening's the best part, but we're sticking with positives for now. What else did I like? Hearing the second Living Tombstone song during the credits was cool. Alright, now for the rest of the stuff. This movie basically requires you to know about the Fnaf lore before going in to see it. You could probably go in without knowing anything about the games, but the callbacks and references would probably confuse anyone who went in blind. The characters here are not smart at all. Mike and Abby don't feel like their previous film counterparts. They act out of character for a good chunk of the movie. I feel like Abby should have been able to tell that toy Chica wasn't the original Chica she knew, and that something was clearly off. I know she's a kid and that kids can be gullible, but there's a limit to how gullible a character should be in order to be believable. Mike also gets upset at Vanessa when she said Abby went to an old Freddy's because he's upset Vanessa didn't move on from the previous film's events. He's one to talk considering he didn't move on from losing Garrett until the third act of the last film. Plus, Vanessa clearly has PTSD considering the nightmare she had about her father, and she wants to help Mike and Abby as much as possible. Plus, the ending where Mike told Vanessa to stay away from them because of her lying was really poorly handled, and felt like it was just an excuse to set up Charlotte taking control of Vanessa. Oh yeah, Charlotte. That brings me to my next and biggest problem with the movie, how they handled Charlie Emily and Michael Afton. Basically, they took two game characters who were established to be good guys and turned them into villains. With Michael's case, they made a movie OC and just gave him an alias Michael used in the first game, turning Michael Afton into someone who likes killing people because of his father. I know it's a different adaptation of FNAF, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. Plus, Michael has very little screen time despite being one of the main villains, and his actor is trying his best to make him entertaining. And in a vacuum, I would say I found him entertaining, considering how blatantly evil he is, but he's not what I wanted to see from an adaptation of Michael Afton. Charlie's change is arguably just as egregious, if not more so, considering, like with the puppet in the games, she wanted to free the other children's souls alongside hers because she was a good person. She helped Michael destroy Fazbear's Fright in the third game to try and kill Springtrap and free the children's souls. But here, she's basically an Onryo like Sadako or Kayako. I hope I said those right. For those of you who are unaware, in Japanese mythology, an Onryo is a spirit of a dead girl who was killed or wronged in some way, and they haunt a specific place to enact their vengeance on the living. Although in Charlie's case, instead of just killing anyone who enters her place, she wants to get out of Freddy so she can kill parents. Yeah, her motivation to kill was because nobody helped her when she saved a kid from being killed by William, so she just wants to kill anyone who's a parent.
Doesn't it make more sense to kill
William? Yeah, as you can see, I didn't really care for this one. It had some good moments here and there, but the bad outweighs the good for me. If you want more insight into how I feel about this movie, go watch the Movie Merchant's brief review in his Every Film He Watched in 2025 video. Link in the description and info card. 4 or 5 out of 10 depending on my mood. Conclusion. Yeah, those were definitely movies. Okay, I'm not saying I didn't have a decent time with them, but they are definitely films I don't plan to watch again. I'd say the biggest issue I had is that these movies don't know who the real demographic should be. They still have more adult themes like the games, but since the fan base is full of kids, they try appealing to them as well by making them PG-13. This confusion definitely affects both films, since they should have picked a demographic instead of trying to appeal to both. Personally, I feel like they should have been rated R, since they wouldn't have to hold themselves back with how disturbing this franchise can be. I mean, the series is about the spirits of murdered children possessing creepy animatronics, for Christ's sake. Get a little edgy, will ya? I'll probably still see the third movie if the trailers catch my attention, but I hope they don't mess it up like they did too. Thank you for watching, have a good whatever time it is, and I'll see you later. Considering as they took the puppet, considering the considering the puppet... Damn it. Considering they took the puppet from the games... But damn it. Considering as the puppet from the games... Stop. Damn it. Why did I write that so weird?